Now, you may or may not have heard of adrenal fatigue, and unless you're suffering from it, you most likely don't know what the effects of it is either. And understanding it is important because it's believed that 80% of Americans will be affected by an adrenal imbalance at some point in their lives. And in today's episode, I'll be sharing what you should know about adrenal fatigue. The primary purpose of the adrenal glands is to produce hormones that counteract stress, and that would be any kind of stress. Every type of stress influences the adrenal glands, whether it's physical, mental, or emotional. So it could be caused by an injury, an infection, dealing with a divorce, financial stresses, job stress, people drama, medication, surgery, your menstrual cycle, anything that causes you to feel stressed. And the adrenal glands are responsible for various bodily functions, ranging from immune system support to counteracting inflammation. They even play a part in supporting your heart rate and your sleep cycles. Now, the adrenal glands are located above the kidneys, and they're responsible for dozens of different hormones that are essential for our lives. Among these hormones is cortisol, which is also known as the belly fat hormone, adrenaline, which is the fight or flight hormone, progesterone, which is the female hormone that plays a big part in pregnancy, menstruation, and sexual desire, and finally is testosterone, the primary male hormone that is responsible for men's reproductive health, as well as muscle, bone mass, and growth of body hair. Now, each of these hormones also play an important role in fat loss and sustainable energy. And since the adrenal glands regulate so many other hormones as well, being balanced is critical for energy, fat loss, and many of the other essential bodily functions. And it's during periods of prolonged high-stress situations, as well as chronic bouts of illness, that the adrenals get overworked and their ability to maintain health and well-being begin functioning below the level of good health, which is what leads to adrenal fatigue. And here are 8 common symptoms associated with people suffering from adrenal fatigue. 1 is joint pain. Then there's feeling tired for no reason. Number 3 is midsection weight gain. Then mid-afternoon sleepiness, puffiness around the face, decreased sex drive. 7 is mild depression, and finally is a foggy memory. Now, although these are just some of the symptoms associated with adrenal fatigue, if you're suffering from 2 or more of them at the same time, you could possibly have an adrenal imbalance that should be addressed immediately. Now, treatment for adrenal fatigue varies depending on the level of your imbalance and the primary cause. But in every case, focusing on making changes to your daily lifestyle and your diet is the key to healing the imbalance. Keep in mind that the level of your imbalance will also determine how long it'll take the imbalance to heal. But the longer you wait to address it, the more you'll prolong the symptoms, which can actually lead to more dire health problems. Now, in the meantime, here are some areas that you can work on to start healing your imbalance on your own. And if you cannot relate to any of the symptoms I mentioned earlier, you should still implement these tools as well, because it won't hurt. In fact, it could ensure that your adrenals stay healthy and strong for the long haul. First is managing stress. Stress management is imperative. This may mean anything from eliminating relationships that aren't working, learning how to appropriately manage your time, or adjusting your schedule to take a little time for yourself. Then there's getting enough sleep. Getting a sufficient amount of sleep is extremely important. What's more important is getting into a REM sleep, which is when your adrenal glands are able to best repair themselves. This is typically when the body is in its deepest sleep. Now, I also highly recommend that you eliminate the consumption of caffeine after 11 a.m. because the later you consume caffeine, the more apt you are to have problems with your sleep cycles. And if you can eliminate consumption of caffeine altogether, that of course would be even better. And finally is getting exercise. Exercise helps to increase blood flow throughout the body, it regulates cortisol levels, and studies have even found that it can help to reduce and relieve depression. Now, although exercise is good for you, it's extremely important not to overdo it. Remember, as I mentioned earlier, any stress, even physical stress, can contribute to adrenal imbalance and prevent an expedient recovery. Now, if you believe you're suffering from adrenal fatigue, don't let it scare you. As I said, you can begin the recovery process by making alterations to your life by implementing the changes I recommended in this video.